Kristin Cavallari recently shared a memorable and somewhat unsettling experience from a night out in Hollywood that quickly turned from intriguing to uncomfortable, leading her to make a swift exit before finding a more positive connection elsewhere. The 39-year-old reality star, podcast host, and businesswoman opened up about the evening during an episode of her podcast, where she recounted the details with her characteristic candidness and humor. It all started when Cavallari and a group of her close girlfriends received an invitation to what was promoted as a Slutty Valentine's Day party. The dress code alone raised some immediate red flags in her mind. Guests were instructed to wear white if they were single, pink if they were heartbroken, black if they were feeling particularly amorous or horny, and nude if they were embracing a fully slutty vibe for the night. Cavallari reflected on her own outfit choice at the time. She had planned to wear black leather pants paired with a nude top. In her head, she thought it might unintentionally align with both the horny and slutty categories, which already made her question whether this was the right scene for her and her friends. Despite those initial reservations, the group decided to give it a chance and headed over to the location. Upon arrival, the level of security struck her as extraordinarily intense, far beyond what she had ever encountered at any other party or event in her years navigating Hollywood social circles. Guards were meticulously checking everyone, and perhaps most strikingly, they placed stickers directly over the cameras on guests' phones to prevent any photography or video recording. This extreme measure immediately set off alarm bells for Cavallari. She described the moment as feeling deeply suspicious, prompting her to internally wonder what kind of environment they were about to step into. The heavy-handed privacy precautions suggested something secretive or potentially illicit was happening behind closed doors. Once inside the house, the atmosphere only amplified her unease. The interior transported them back in time, evoking a strong 1970s aesthetic with its decor and layout. As they moved through the space and turned a corner, the party revealed its true nature. It wasn't just a house gathering but essentially a full-blown nightclub embedded within the residence. There was a dedicated lower level functioning like a club, complete with pulsing music, dim lighting, and even a separate room featuring a cage and a prominent stripper pole. These elements contributed to an overall vibe that felt far from celebratory or fun in the way Cavallari had hoped. She emphasized that the energy permeating the entire place was profoundly sketchy. To her, it gave off the unmistakable impression of a drug den or a location where questionable activities might be taking place behind the scenes. While she was careful to note that she didn't personally witness any illegal substances being used, no overt drug deals, and no explicit acts of misconduct or hookers as far as she could see, the feeling was undeniable. The air itself seemed dirty, laden with an uncomfortable tension that made it hard to relax or enjoy the moment. Cavallari and her friends huddled together in their tight-knit group, exchanging glances and whispers as they assessed the situation. They quickly reached a unanimous decision. They needed to leave immediately. The group didn't linger. In fact, Cavallari insisted they were only present for about 4 minutes. Barely enough time to take in the surroundings before the creepiness became overwhelming. They made their exit as discreetly and swiftly as possible, relieved to escape what felt like an increasingly risky or off-putting environment. The intensity of their discomfort was palpable. Everyone in the group was creeped out and eager to get out of there without drawing attention. Rather than calling it a night entirely, the friends pivoted to another event happening nearby, a rap party that turned out to be a much better fit. This second gathering had a far more laid-back and enjoyable atmosphere. Among the attendees were high-profile rappers like Chris Brown and Dolla, adding to the star-studded yet relaxed energy. The shift in vibe was immediate and welcome. Cavallari was able to unwind, chat freely, and simply enjoy the company without the lingering sense of unease from earlier. By the end of the evening, the night took a decidedly positive turn for her personally. She met a really cute guy who caught her attention right away. The two hit it off, exchanging numbers and beginning to talk. She shared that he happens to be 9 years her junior, which didn't seem to faze her given her past experiences with age gap relationships. Her most recent former boyfriend had been 13 years younger, so this felt familiar territory. Looking ahead, she mentioned that he might visit her in Nashville, where she now resides and has built much of her post-reality TV life, the following weekend. Importantly, she clarified that he wouldn't be staying at her place. Instead, the plan was for a proper date, something simple like dinner to see where things might lead. Cavallari's reflections on dating and relationships often tie back to her family life. She shares 3 children, sons Camden, 13, and Jackson, 11, and daughter Sailor, 9. From her previous marriage to former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler, which ended after 7 years in 2020. Motherhood has increasingly influenced how open she is willing to be about her personal life, particularly intimate details. In a recent conversation on her podcast with actress Rachel Bilson, she described a moment when her sons mentioned that their friends had come across clips or discussions from her podcast involving sexual topics she had shared while dating her younger ex. The boys relayed that friends had heard or seen references to bedroom antics discussed on air, which prompted a serious pause for Cavallari. She realized the need to be more cautious about what she discloses publicly. While she doesn't mind her children forming their own views of her as a person, she wants to protect them from any potential embarrassment or teasing at school stemming from her candidness. This led her to consciously pull back on certain topics, finding ways to express herself without diving into explicit territory. It's a balancing act she's navigating, staying authentic to her podcast's honest style while being mindful of the ripple effects on her kids' lives. Cavallari first rose to prominence through her roles on MTV's Laguna Beach, The Real Orange County, and later The Hills, where her relatable yet dramatic persona captured audiences. Over the years, she's transitioned into entrepreneurship with her lifestyle brand, podcasting, and authoring books, all while maintaining a very public personal life. Nights like this Hollywood outing highlight the unpredictable side of celebrity socializing, glamorous invitations that sometimes lead to unexpected discomfort, but also opportunities for new connections and surprising places. Her story serves as a reminder that even in the glitzy world of Hollywood parties, instincts matter, and knowing when to walk away can lead to better experiences down the line.